Hello, this is Peter Englander with the League of Women Voters of Portland, and you are watching the Video Voters Guide. We are in the studios of MetroEast Community Media to talk with candidates running in the November 2018 general election. We have invited all candidates who filed for this race. There are many reasons during busy campaign seasons for candidates accepting or being unable to appear. With me today is Christine Lewis, running for Portland Metro Councilor District 2, who has been able to accept our invitation. We are sorry that one of the candidates in this race, Joe Buck, has been unable to accept our invitation. We urge voters to visit the League of Women Voters of Oregon's website and to use the League's vote411.org site for comprehensive coverage, where candidates may also choose to include more information, including some of their own YouTube videos. So Christine, our first question is, of Metro's current or proposed projects, which do you think are the most important and why?
Well, thanks for the question, and also thank you for the opportunity to have this conversation today. I think of utmost importance is the housing projects ahead at Metro. We have a housing bond on our ballot, everybody in the Metro region, not just District 2. And it's our opportunity to come together as a community and recognize we're in the middle of a housing crisis, and this is our opportunity to do something about it. In 2016, the City of Portland moved forward with a bond project for affordable housing in order to support development of units of housing for neighbors who need it the most. And I was really privileged to get to lead the charge as campaign manager for that project. But now we're doing it region-wide. So I would urge folks to vote yes on that measure, but also know that the work isn't done once the bond passes. We have to actually implement and make sure that we're tackling housing at a regional level. We've got an affordability crisis that is, frankly, statewide, and we, in this region, are crunched more than any other part of the state to make sure that we are taking care of our neighbors who are living on fixed income, perhaps seniors in their retirement, and definitely mothers who are working two jobs, single parents, those sorts of circumstances where people are really priced out of our housing right now. So I think housing affordability is square in the sights of Metro's projects to tackle.
Any other projects that are a high priority for you?
Yeah, the next on my list is definitely transportation. I live 2 blocks off of Willamette Falls Drive. In my community, that becomes the third lane of I-205 during rush hour. So basically, my local neighborhood street where there's a coffee shop, there's a couple of small local businesses, and direct access to our elementary school absorbs the traffic that is basically just trying to get through our community. And it's untenable for our neighborhood to continue to take the place of that infrastructure. So we've got to make sure that 205 that was designed out in the transportation package by the state legislature, that moves forward and that we're addressing congestion and bottleneck issues, but also safety issues right there at the Abernathy Bridge. So I bring this up because that's one project, but every community in this district is wide and vast and includes Milwaukee and Happy Valley, Lake Oswego, West Lynn, Gladstone, Oregon City. Every community, every neighborhood has their version of my Willamette Falls Drive. So we've got to go through and see where is it that we can make the infrastructure investment for safety and for congestion that also helps relieve our neighborhood streets.
Okay, so Christine, let's go back to housing. What is Metro's role in protecting housing affordability in high opportunity areas?
Yeah, that's a really great question, because a high opportunity area is an area that is well served by transit, that has access to amenities, including maybe a grocery store or coffee shop in walking distance, that has schools. So Metro really can make sure that we have housing that is affordable at all levels along major transit corridors. So when we think through where people can live, where they can get to work, where they can get to their medical appointments, it's when they can easily hop on a bus or potentially take the MAX. And so transit-oriented development is a program that's long been run by Metro, and it is a critical place for Metro to continue to focus its investment as it thinks through which transportation corridors are our future. Additionally, our state has land use principles that are called goals, and Goal 10 is about housing. And we have to make sure that when we have a local comprehensive plan, that we are considering in our local communities housing and needed housing, but at all levels of affordability. Not just how many more apartments or how many more houses can we put in this area, but are we able to actually make sure that the people who work in this community can afford to live there as well?
Okay. So let's go back to transportation. How would you balance transportation spending among mass transit, cars, bikes, and sidewalks?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think that your question kind of approaches the challenges from the structural component, but I would really come at it from the user. How are we going to address safety issues? How are we going to address congestion? How are we going to make sure that pedestrians and people on the road not surrounded by a metal car are safe? How are we going to make sure that myself as a driver, I spend a lot of time commuting, unfortunately, that I have confidence when I drive, that I'm in some sort of separated area from people on bikes, people on their feet, people on those newfangled scooters. So I really think you have to prioritize kind of the user experience. And I've already said that we absolutely have to address 205 and our regional highway network. Same though, we have to make sure that we have sidewalks, that we have plans in place so that we can have safe routes to school. That's funding that comes to Metro and local communities via the state. And that is a priority of mine, to make sure that we're working with the schools and community to chart out sidewalks, crosswalks, and other kind of marked ways, because when you have students able to walk that half mile to school, that connects the whole community in an active transit in a way that it's not there currently for many of our communities.
Okay, well, thank you, Christine.
Yeah.
This has been the Video Voters Guide. Thank you for watching. The general election is Tuesday, November 6th. Be sure to inform yourself about the candidates, the ballot measures, and exercise your right to vote.
Well, thank you.